So welcome everybody to the 40K to 400K formula workshop. This is where we help Shopify founders, e-com brands find their fast path plan to more orders and more consistent orders. Couple quick must-dos, which I did mention earlier. We're going to be here for about an hour. So the more you jump in the chats, engage with our team, the more fun this is going to be. So we'd love to see you and see your lovely faces on camera. As we said, this will be recorded. Just as a heads up, but we do love to see you and see your faces rather than staring into the black box of death. So if you do have a camera, we'd love to see you, and jump in the chats. We'll be chatting to you throughout the call. So jump in there. We can and figure out where that is. We'll be chatting to you during the call. So our main goals for this evening is for you to walk away from this workshop understanding how to turn browsers into buyers. And this is something that we focus on heaps inside the e-commerce circle on all of our coaching calls and with all of our clients. The first thing we look at is how do we take more of the people that are already coming to your website and convert them into buyers, get them to buy more stuff, place more orders with our business. So it's one of the key features, one of the biggest things that we look at, because you can make more money without spending more money to get customers, right? If you can convert more of the browsers you already have into buyers. We'll also help you identify what's broken potentially in your business. We're going to live audit some websites tonight. Probably most of you are at a similar stage to most of the other brands on this call. So you'll be able to see what we talk about on one site and apply it to your business, because probably either in a similar position. But what we find on these calls is that pretty much every business we look at, the things we discuss that are broken on a website, on a product page, on a collection page, on a homepage, are the same things that aren't working on most other websites. So even if we don't look at your brand tonight, when we're going through another brand, this will be highly relevant to your brand as well. So you'll be able to see the similarities between the brands that we look at and your own brand. And we want you to leave with a plan, right? We don't just want to sit here and talk at you for a while. We want you to leave this call knowing what to do next, right? We don't want to just give you more information and have you walk away going, cool, I've got a whole bunch of new ideas that I have no idea what to do with. We want you to leave this call knowing what to action in the next 30, 60, 90 days. There are few things to focus on that are actually going to drive results in your business. So that's where we're heading for the evening. On this call, on our sales calls, when we chat to e-com founders, most questions we get revolve around different flavors of this question, right? Will this stuff work for me? Will the stuff that we talk about, these orders that we run, the things that we tell people to do on these calls, will it work for me? And there's really three flavors, right? Will it work in my niche? Will it work at my size or my stage? And will it work right now? And the short answer is yes, because we teach principles. We teach principles that worked last week, last year, last decade, and they'll work next week, next month, next decade as well. Obviously adapting to the times. But we teach principle-based stuff, right? We teach stuff that always works. So it will work with every niche. We have over 400 members inside our community. We've got 15,000, I think, members inside our Shopify Facebook group. And all of those brands, all of those niches have the same problems and the same fixes inside of their businesses, which is why we can confidently tell you that the stuff that we're going to go through tonight is the stuff that's going to help drive your business forward. So if you are on this call, this probably is for you, but let's just classify who this really is for. These are the types of business owners that we love to work with. We love to work with passionate people who have that product that they know, if I just could leverage a couple things better, if I could get this in front of more eyes, if I could get this amazing product in the hands of more of the right type of buyer, this thing would take off. I'd change lives. I'd make a real impact in the world. So you're passionate about what you're doing. You just don't know that next step as to how to actually light this thing on fire. And because of that, you're probably overwhelmed. And like I mentioned before, you're on the TikToks and the YouTubes and all the workshops and the webinars and all of the stuff, and you're consuming all of this information. And we call this infobesity. And this is the idea that you've consumed so much stuff and it's all contradictory. And this guy tells you to do something to this guy, and it's so much information that you end up just procrastinating and not actually doing anything. And then another month goes past and another quarter goes past and another year goes past, and you're just overwhelmed and you're in the same spot. So our goal for you tonight is to get you unoverwhelmed. And the last type of person, and this is probably all of you, is you started a business to get paid, right? You didn't open this business as a charity, and it's lovely to have impact in the world, but you're also a business owner. So everything that we're going to take you through is how to not just get you paid and get your revenue going off the chart, but how to do that profitably and how to do that sustainably so that this is a business that can last a long time, not just some fad hacks that are going to give you some revenue bumps in the next 90 days, but zero profit at the end of it. We don't want you making $1 million and costing you $999,000 to make it, right? We want to build a profitable business. So why listen to myself and Paul and our team? As I said before, we don't just teach theory. We don't just teach what we reckon. We teach based on experience and practice and principle on the stuff that we've been running for the last 5 years inside the e-commerce circle, but the last 25 years inside of e-commerce businesses. And Paul can speak to his experience in e-com and my background, 25 plus years in marketing and advertising and agency and digital. So Paul, give us the background on yourself and why people should listen to you.
Sure. Thanks, Chris. So first, thanks for everyone for jumping on tonight with us. I'm sure you're busy, but this is going to be the best thing you're doing for this Wednesday night in a while. So short version, I've been in ecom since I was like 16 years old. So back when I was a teenager, I was a massive computer nerd, and I thought, how can I get computer parts cheaper? So I said to mum and dad, I said, I want to start a business. And I said, sure. So I registered a company called Warren Computers, pretty creative back then. My first website was made on Notepad, and it was like black and white, and it was terrible. But I had that business all the way up into 2014, and by the time I'd sold that company, I'd sold about $40 million worth of products. Actually, sold it to an ASX listed company in 2014. Went on all the ups and all the downs during that process, building that business. So it was a fun ride. I started Insightful, which is one of our brands that we still got now. So previously, Insightful was the brand that did all the tech and all the development for my Walk-On brand. So basically, with the tech that I had, it was almost like it's probably better than what you have on Shopify now. So millions and millions of dollars building my own tech stack. A couple of years ago, I was sitting down with Chris and I said, hey, now what we do at Insightful is we build hundreds of Shopify sites a year. And I said, we've got all these people that need help to grow their brands. So and I also at the time had the Shopify Australia group, which had about 6,000 members in it. Now it's got like 12,000. And that's our free group. But we said, I think we need to set up another coaching community where we can actually go and help all these people where we make all their websites and we can teach them how to get to their first 10 grand a month, their first 50 grand a month, their first $400,000 a month. So we've been doing that for a couple of years together. Like Chris is the co-founder in that. I mean, I've been doing that since I was a kid, basically. We now have, I think when I last looked, 440 people in that private community as well. So I'm going to talk about how you guys can all join that at the end of the community. I'll put a link in here anyway, and you can go join up in the meantime. There's a lot of other communities in Australia that are kind of one-trick ponies. They just teach meta ads, right? Or they just teach drop shipping, right? And I am very firm on the belief that you can't grow a business just with meta ads. You need to fix your website. You need to fix your story. You need to fix all the other things that help grow an e-com brand. So I like to think we have a nice hybrid where you can go to Insightful, my main brand, you get your website done, you go to the e-commerce circle, you learn how to grow your brand, and then you do everything properly from the start. So, and the main reason I do this as well is because, as I'm sure many people on this call can attest, you've gone through heaps of coaches and mentors and agencies and all the other people that have told you, sold you miracles, and it hasn't happened. And I had a lot of that myself. So now I take a lot of pride in helping people build brands like that. And more so, I'm a dad. I've got a 4-year-old. I've got a 5-year-old, 2 little boys. And I think it's very important that I set a good example for them to show people how it can be easy to build a good brand. And I'd like to do that for people that I work with so that you guys who also got parents, I can see Cindy with a little one on here. I mean, last thing most of you probably want to do is spend 80 hours at your computer trying to figure out how to build an e-commerce business. It makes a lot more sense when you're doing it for 30 hours and doing it properly. So that's something I'm really passionate about. And we also we even got a lot of grandparents in our communities, right? So they're like, yeah, I do the e-com business on the side and hang out with the kids and the grandkids and so forth. So hope you get a lot of value out of tonight. And I'll throw it back to Chris.
Cool. So the long story short is if it's happened in ecom, if it's going to happen in your ecom business, we've been there, we've bought the t-shirt, and we've dealt with it, whether that's increasing revenue and increasing profit, not just revenue, building teams, operations, marketing, growth, and scaling through systems. We've been there, done that, and I said, bought the t-shirt. And the funny thing is, the principles that we've practiced and understood over the last 25 years are the exact same things that we're using today to grow brands in 2026. Brands like Liz from Industrial Shed. Liz came to us and she was doing sort of 43K-ish months. She's now doing 265K a month by implementing these things that we're going to show you tonight. I think that's accurate. She might even have done 270, 280 last month, I think.
300 and
Paul
something
might
last
drop.
month. I think 320 or 340.
320. Okay, so she's on she's like on a rocket ship at the moment. But again, massive growth. But this is the type of results that we do see inside the community when we apply these principles. Same with Paul and Elaine. We met them. They were struggling trying to get agencies to run ads and do all this stuff for them. Amazing product, great founders, great story that just wasn't being told in the right way. They were sort of doing 15K months, 10, 15, 8, bouncing up and down. They're now doing solid 120 plus. They might have done 130, I think, last month. But again, we implemented a few things in the business very systematically. This wasn't like radicalizing the entire business. It was just tweaking a few things in the right direction. And these are the same things that we're going to show you on this evening's call. Again, Industrial Shed, they've now done 2.6 million in sales, and they're still climbing. Nature's Pantry, 2.2 million in sales. So these are some bigger brands, but there's other people in the community like Karen. So we use Karen as a great example, and Karen she's one of our good friends, and she knows that she's on the slides. She comes to a lot of these calls. But Karen's a great example, right? Karen's in her 60s. She's a tea leaf reader. She has an amazing product, beautiful tea leaf reading teacups. But she's very untechy. She was running purely on Etsy, and she was doing 3, 4K months on Etsy. She's getting slammed with Etsy fees. Don't know if anyone here is running on Etsy or Amazon or other platforms, but they can be problematic, right? They're great for exposure, but they can be problematic when they start to charge you for every sale. So what we did with Karen was we brought her over into the community, helped her with her website, helped her with her marketing, and now she's doing consistent 20K months in her own store, so outside of Etsy in her own business, which now she can manage. She gets all the customer details. She can resell to and build her database. Can you guys help Catherine out?
Yes.
And Jade is another fantastic example. So inside of our community, we run a coaching call every day. Some days have a couple of calls. We're up to about 7 calls every single week inside the community. But a lot of people can't make those calls. Maybe like yourselves, you're busy. Maybe you've got a 9 to 5 job. You work on your brand, work on your business after hours. And this was Jade's example. She was working in the pelvic health industry. She didn't even have a product when she joined us, but she followed along, did the training, watched all the calls in her own time once she put the kids to bed. And over the last 5, 6 months, she's now doing consistent 40K months simply by following these same principles, doing the right work, asking the right questions, going step by step, fixing the right thing after the next right thing. And these are the types of results that we see all of the time inside of our community. Another great example is Leah. She joined us from another community, and she'd launched and they kind of flopped and they did no sales at all after a lot of work that they'd put into their business. Again, great founders, super driven, highly motivated, great product, just the wrong mix of activities in the business. And Leah's now sort of hitting. Sorry, Joanne, I can hear myself. And she's now doing solid 10K months and growing. So this works for all sorts of brands at all sorts of stages. So as Paul briefly mentioned, we do have an unhidden agenda. So we love looking for new case studies. We love new success stories. We love helping brands grow, and we are teach and do people. So we do what we teach what we do. And we hope that this workshop is going to be genuinely valuable for you, even if we never get to work with you, even if we never see you again. But obviously we would love to work with you. We'd love to dive deeper into all of your businesses, understand exactly where you're at, and help you install these principles in your business. But we're obviously time limited on this call to an hour. And if we spoke to every single person here, we'd be up to about 17 or 20 hours. So with that in mind, would it be okay? Just give me a yes or a hands up or a thumbs up in the comments if at the end of this we give you a way to connect with our team where we can work a bit closer with you and understand and help you through these principles that we're going to show you through. Thank you, Kathy. Thank you, Catherine. Sean. Thank you, Paul. Yep, Catherine, Miranda, thanks. Love to see a bunch of yeses. Fantastic, gang. Thank you. All right, while you are in there, while you've got your keys hot on your pads there, on your keyboards there, where are you in your journey? So a lot of people we meet are in one of these categories. So a one, you're a startup, you're kind of just getting going. Two, you're a setup, you're starting to scale a little bit. Three, you're in grow up, 25, 50K a month. Four, you're in scale up. So just drop a 1, 2, 3, 4 in the channel there for us so we can get a feel for the room, get an idea of where everybody's at. A couple of threes in there, a couple of fours,
Yeah,
bunch of
good
ones.
brands. Cool. Few
Okay.
beginners. Good.
Good, good. We got a good spread this evening.
You can
Okay,
also,
side
if you
hustling
have
to a
like,
3, Kathy. Good
for
stuff.
those of you that have retail stores as well, you know, you can go like, you can do a bit of a hybrid and go between both businesses. I'm a 2, I'm a 3, I'm a 4. That's fine.
Yeah, excellent. Okay, fantastic, guys. Lots of ones, twos, and threes. Good, good. So I've shown you a lot of stuff. I've shown you some success stories. I've shown you some numbers that for some of you might be pretty big numbers. Some of you might be, yeah, that looks achievable. But when we get results like this, what do you guys think? Again, let us know in the chat. What do you reckon? Are we just lucky? Do we just happen to meet great brands that are already on this trajectory and then we just get to screenshot their stuff? Is it some sort of magic or is it maybe a system? What do you reckon in the chat? Luck, magic, system. How do we help these sorts of brands get these sorts of results? What's the question? Catherine, the question is, how do
Is
we
it
get
luck or
results
magic
like
or a
this for
system?
our clients? Is it luck? Is it magic? Do you reckon it's something? I hope it's a system. Well, Sean, unfortunately, it's magic. It's not. Yes, Sean. Luckily for Sean, it is a system. Great guessing, everyone. That was an easy question. We like to throw in some easy ones every now and then. So we do have an engine behind the results. This is what we call our more orders model, and this is the system that we run through all of the businesses that we work with, and these is the model that generates these results. And this is what we're going to take you through this evening and show you what this means and how to apply this model to your business. So you can see we've got 4 steps here: stock, story, store, and strategy. We used to make people guess these things, but now we streamline it and we just tell you out. It's way less fun, but you get the information faster. So stock is all about, do you have a great product? Can you get more of it? Is there demand for it? And can you fulfill the demand without overstressing yourself? Story is all about your brand and connecting to your ideal buyer, right? Telling a great story that's compelling, that compels someone to buy more from you, talk to all their friends about you and send you more business. Store is all about building a high converting website. And this is what I talked about right up front when we talked about converting more browsers into buyers. All of these mechanisms is what goes into converting more browsers into buyers. And the last piece of this is your strategy, right? And this is, are you directing growth? Are you directing your digital strategy? Are you marketing in the right places to the right people? Or are you just kind of being reactive and throwing stuff at the wall and hoping it sticks? So all 4 of these mechanisms help you turn more browsers into buyers, right? When you have a better story, when you speak to a specific buyer, when you can highlight their pain points, their desires, their challenges, and language that back to them, they're more sticky and they're more likely to hang around and go, there's something about this brand that I want to shop from. Having a high converting store means that their user journey is very easy. They can find what they need quickly. It helps them buy. It helps them buy more every time they shop. And then having a strategy that supports all of that helps them come back and buy more often. So we're now going to give you a bit of a demo. We're going to jump into a few audits. Paul, have you chosen a few sites to take a look
Have I
at?
ever? Go look at Radguard.
Okay, fantastic. So we are going to go through what we call our fast path plan. And this is where we apply our our 4-step more orders model to real stores. And this gives you your next 30, 60, 90 days of action. These are the things that you need to fix in what order, which is what we want you to leave this call understanding. I need to fix these few things and I need to fix them in this proper order so that I can drive my business forward. So
It's
I'll jump out of
Paul's
this,
record. Yeah.
you know,
Is that your brand, Paul?
and
Paul, can't pronounce your surname. I won't try. There you go. Close. Nailed it.
Vogel singer.
So, you want to come off mute, mate? If you don't mind. Some people get on and go, oh shit, I'm very nervous. I don't want to speak. And I'll put them on the spot. So if you're comfortable,
Gotcha. Yep.
you're all good.
Back.
All right. So where we start here, as I spoke about before, this is going to go on YouTube tomorrow. We're not world famous or anything on there, but we've got a few people that watch YouTube. It's going to go to all our audience and so forth. So give us your pitch about your brand, why you started it, who you help, all the good stuff, so that, people see that and they come and buy whatever it is you sell tomorrow.
Okay, so I started off I rode motorbikes, and I ended up getting a hole in my radiator. Went looking for a product in 1997 to put on my bike, and couldn't find anyone that did anything for radiators on motorbikes. So invented something myself,
Yep.
and put it on my bike and three other friends. Without knowing it, did some testing over the next 2 years between 98 and 2000. And when I took and none of us got holes in our motorbikes once they went on. And then in 2000, when I took it off to put it onto the new bike, the actual radiator that I had looked brand new. So it was one, it saved it from being holed, and two, it kept the value of the bike because the radiator still looked brand new. And that was one of the things that people do look at when they buy bikes, to see how destroyed parts are on the bike, and that was brand new. So I launched it in 2000 at the MotoGP,
Well,
and by then had 10 bikes, did 10 bikes,
yep.
and then just grew it. Each week we did a bike. And I was running another business as well, so I was very slow for the first 4 years up until 2004. But then I sold that other business and concentrated on this, and it grew. It grew, but I did not have the expertise or the people telling me how to do it. So it's been a struggle, or was a struggle, for at least 10 years. And then in, say, 2018, 19, it started to grow, and it was actually profitable. We knew we had a good product, but we just couldn't get it out into the marketplace. And that's what I'm finding now. We know that we've got a good product. We compare it with anything else that's in the world now, and it's a lot stronger. It lets airflow through into the radiator, doesn't overheat the motors. So it ticks all the boxes.
Yep.
So we know we've
Cool.
got a product, and it we only get good reviews. Whenever we get a review from customers that buy our products, we always get a good review. I don't know the last time, I could probably count on my hand how many, or one hand, how many bad reviews we've had.
Love it.
So I know
So,
I've got the product, but I just have to get it out into the world.
so looking very quickly at what you're doing, like agree, like as a motorcyclist, I had a Ducati 675R. I got a Ducati on the way. I've had Honda CBR, something or other. My first bike was a KOR. Can't remember, ages ago. But so I'm your market and I get it. And I'm like, yeah, brilliant product. And like you have a marketing problem and you have a store problem and you have a story problem, like we spoke about at the start, right? So we're going to solve parts of that for you tonight. And then we're going to fix your website. Not tonight, but we're going to do some work on your site. And you're going to go like, oh my God, should have done this ages ago. One thing that I want to talk about tonight, I already spoke about our community, right? So we run the e-commerce circle community. We get people like Paul to join the community. Every single day we go, Paul, this is the next thing that you need to do to grow your brand, right? So you guys can go to the e-commerce circle website right now. You can sign up at $97 a month or $1,000 for the whole year, right? So, but there is another tool that I want to show you that we do as well. So This system is called the More Orders Command Center. Again, you can all go sign up to this when you're ready. This is going to be the pitch at the end of this whole workshop, right? But I want to show you what this is. So a lot of people come to me and they ask me the same questions all the time, right? So they go, hey, Paul, how do I go and fix my website? Paul, how do I run ads? How do I improve the average order value that I get when I do get orders? How do I write better Facebook ads? How do I build a bundle? How do I hundreds of things, right? So I've spent a couple of years building this thing, and I have, at last count, there is 209 very specific GPTs that live inside of this that solve literally every single problem every single person on this call is going to have in their brand. So again, for example, you go, hey, I want to optimize my Google ads. There's a tool in here to do that. I want to run better meta ads. There's a tool in here to do that. I want to write better copy. There's a tool here to do that. This is not like just going to ChatGPT and asking it the same thing. ChatGPT's whole purpose is to give you some sloppy answer that makes you feel intelligent, and then you're going to go and use that, and you're going to think you're a genius. And 99% of the time, it's rubbish. So when you use all the tools in here, there is massively detailed, long prompting instructions that sit behind all of them that make sure it gives you a good answer. Right? You do it once and the answer is amazing, and you go, oh, I've done that and I never need to do it again. And you can keep coming back in here and you go, hey, I need new ads. I need new emails. I need new flows. I need new, what should I sell next? Right? So this tool replaces Claude, ChatGPT, Gemini, all of them. All right. You can sign up whenever you're ready and you get started and start using it. But I'm going to use parts of it tonight to fix things for Paul. So before we get there, though, I want to illustrate this point. So when you land on an e-commerce website, here is what people see, right? So they come here, and again, this is desktop, a bit hard to do it on mobile, but here's what we're working with. Here is where an announcement bar should go. Here is where what I call trust statements should live. So I'm going to explain what they all are in a minute. Here is where a H1 should live, and the H1 means heading 1. It's just a big bit of text on your homepage. It's the most important thing. Then we go over here and we go to H2. So why you want all of these things is because you're going to have a statement here and another one there and there and there and there and this and this and this and this and this and this and this. Now, the more ticks that you get and the more sentences that people read across your website, and the more times they say yes inside their head when they read those statements, the more likely they are to scroll down and buy all of your stuff, right? And you also want to take all of this same messaging that we put on your site, in your ads, in your emails, in your messaging, in your flyers at the mall, in your banners on the side of your car, right? So this is called your story. And most people, and especially in like Paul's case here, it doesn't really have a story. It's like number one in radiator protection, right? So we're going to do a bit of work on this. And again, like I looked at a few other sites and most of you are guilty of doing this wrong as well, right? So let's go back to the tool. And I kind of already started on it, but I'm going to come over here and oops, I'm going to click this button instead, cancel that, do this. So I'm going to go up here and I go, I need help with the headline generator. So again, H1, we're trying to write a new H1 for Paul. So I'm like, type in H1 here, book, headline. That's the one. What's going on? Hang on, my screen's doing something weird. Bear with me 2 seconds. All right, we'll try it again. Let's do it. Anyway, doing something weird.
Loaded that time.
Yeah, load on the other screen. Hang on. Try it for the third time. All right, there we go. Cool. So this is what pops up, right? So now, as I spoke about, like there's a tiny little prompt in here to help you get started. You don't actually need to click that. You can, Chris, can you mute whoever that is? I can hear myself talking. But Paul can come in here and he go, I need a new H1 and H2, and let's go 9 trust statements from my website and 3 announcement bar statements also. So just to recap, what we're trying to do, the bar at the top is the announcement bar. The things down the bottom are trust statements. The H1 is your H1, the H2 is your H2, right? 99% of people that I meet on this call have never heard of any of this stuff before, right? And they just go, oh, I send people to my website and then people bounce and people never buy anything. I go, it's because you're not giving them anything to read. And there's no story that is compelling because all of those sentences on there, again, you got to go, yep, 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 yep. And the more yeps they buy, it's like talking to a 3-year-old, like, hey, go do this, go do that. And the more times you get them to go agree with you, they're going to do stuff. So let's run this and see where we get to. So this will take like 10 seconds or so. So what it actually is doing now, it's actually going to Paul's website. It's looking at his competitors. It's looking at all the wording on his site already. Hang on a second. Helps if I put the URL in. We'll put that in as well. So this one. So pause for 2 seconds. Here's the URL. Oh, there we go. All right, let that run again. Cool. So, and I've also done this in another window already. So give us a second to let it keep running. So whilst we're looking here, sorry, there you go. So give it a minute. Spits out a lot of stuff, right? We won't need all of this, but I'm going to explain all of it because at the end of the call, once you guys are all got access to this, you can start using this tomorrow. You can come in, do your H1, your H2, your trust statements, everything. So let's have a look. What do we have at the moment on the side again? We've got the number one radiator in radiator protection. Okay. Clearly it's for bikes, but it doesn't say that. But because another thing that you want to do in this as well is there is a term called search volume, right? Now, search volume in a Google search or search volume in a Claude search or a ChatGPT search means how many people every single month in Australia actively search for that phrase, right? So what you want to do in your H1 is when you rebuild it, make it amazing, you want to make sure you're also using a word that people search for. So over time, let's assume this says something like, the greatest motorcycle radiator protection to ever exist or whatever. You go, great. Like I rank first for that in Google, and that gets Paul 3,000 visitors a month to his website. And then he converts, 10% of them, you go, great, 300 sales. Right. So really important that you do that as well. So let's come back here and have a look what we've got. So, Australian motorcycle radiator guards. So let's start with the H2. So protect your radiator from stones, sticks, and road debris with guards engineered, tested, and built in Australia. There'd be no motorcyclist that would be in Australia that would read that and not say like yes 3 times. Right. So for example, I keep going to the wrong screen here, but like that would be like front and center there. So people read it and go boom, 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 go, I want that thing. Then they continue reading and we come down here. So engineered, tested, and built in Australia, built for motorcycle radiator protection, made for riders who expect for more for their gear, helps protect exposed radiator, da, 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 da. So you go, yep, that sounds good, that sounds good, that sounds good. So all of those things should be sitting here, right? And I haven't done the H1 yet, but already I've got a new H2, I've got new trust statements, and as soon as I land on your website, I can see them. I don't need to scroll down here and start reading all this stuff or anything, right? So what did we get with the H1 here? So stop one hit in ending your rides, tough guards, clean airflow, built in Australia, tested for riders. Like Australian motorcycle radiator guards is good. So I would probably grab that one. All right, this H1. But let's talk about this for a second. What kind of vibe do you think your brand should have, Paul? Like it's built for men, right, that ride bikes, and it's a bit, where does it sit? Enduro is not the tip, it's not like a Harley rider, is it? It's kind of a different sort of person.
It is a Harley rider as
It is
well.
Harley?
We sell a lot of Harley. Yeah, we sell a lot of Harley Davidsons. It's basically road bikes and then adventure bikes. So not dirt bikes. That's a totally different market. But your adventure bikes and your road bikes. So like your Ducatis and your Harley Davidsons and your KTM 890s. Yeah, so it's a fairly big range of bikes, and
Okay.
adventure bikes are the biggest market in the world at the moment.
Yep.
And then second is, close to you is your road bikes, just your cafe races, which are the 650s all the way up to 1000 cc's. And then you've got your sports bikes, and we do sports bikes as well. So sports and super sports. So there's
Okay.
about 700 or 800 different jigs or guards that we do that cover
Yep.
over probably or up to 1,000 different motorcycles.
Wow. Okay. Yeah,
Honda,
right.
Kawasaki, Suzuki, Yamaha,
Yeah.
Aprilia, BMW, hire
I
some
would I
Seat
would be
Motos.
leaning with this something like this then. Like you don't need to overly complicate it. Some brands you do, right? You got a skincare brand, you need to make a claim. You've got like some kind of cool beverage brand, you need to make a claim. But for the purpose of this for you, like something like that, along with the H2 and the new announcements, that would be perfectly fine for you, I reckon. So I would
Yeah.
run there. So those are the first bits that we would put up the top of the page. And I want to show a bit of an example. When we do this for brands outside of the e-commerce circle, and when Chris, who's also presenting here tonight, does this one-to-one with the brand, the reason we do this to the depth that we do is we go through this exercise, right? So what we want to do is we want to figure out your why you're in business and why you came up with the product. Then we want to figure out the overall brand values of the product, right? Then we'll go, what are the beliefs of the brand? So for example, for you, you're like, well, you should be able to sell your bike again and your radiator is not just destroyed. So I made this product because it solves that and does all this other amazing stuff. And you go, great. Then we get into the personality of the brand, the characteristics of the brand, blah, blah, blah. And I won't go through everything in this sheet, but I do want to show you this bit. We want to go, what's most important is that all of you identify who this person is for your brand. So for you, you'd go, hey, it's Paul. Paul makes 200K a year. He lives regional. He has 2 kids. He has 2 dirt bikes. He reads these magazines. He does all this other stuff. And like, he's the guy that I want to understand how he searches and understand what problems he has with his bike. And when I talk about, when I do my brand messaging on my website, I'm speaking just to Paul, and all the other Pauls, right? So Tanya, on the other hand, might go, my client is Jenny Smith. She's 40. She's this, she's that. She drinks this. She does blah, blah, blah. She does Pilates, blah, blah, blah. And I go, she's the person I need to speak to because when Jenny Smith goes on her customer journey, and I find Jenny on the internet, Jenny has these problems, right? And then all of these problems go into all of the ads that we say. And all of the ads that you do to attract Jenny to your website or Paul to your website, you need to have consistency between what you say in your ad and what you say on your website. And when you do both well and you dial both of them in, that's the difference between a 4, 5, 6% conversion rate and a 0% conversion rate. And it's also the difference between a 6% return on your ad spend versus a 3, right? So most other coaching communities in the space spend no time on this. 0 of the drop shipping coaches in the space spend any time on this. They just go and sell crap from China, put it on your website, don't say anything, don't solve anyone's problem, just like, yeah, run ads, and you go, I don't know why it's not working. Right. So that's why we spend a lot of time going, dial in your story. And I've spent about 5 minutes on Paul's story now, but it's already better. Right. So the moment someone lands on Paul's site now, they go, I know what I'm buying. I know what I should buy. We'll spend a bit more on this. So, because I want to dial in your what's called a unique selling proposition. So you kind of have this a little bit, but I reckon we can make that sound better as well. So again, come back in here and you go, write me my USP for the site and make it 100 words. Doesn't even matter if you do typos like me. The system doesn't judge you. It'll be a secret between you guys that you can't type, like I can't type. So give this a second. Is this making sense so far, everybody? If it is, put your hand up. If it's not, put your hand up as well, and I can go deeper. Let's give this a minute.
Lots of hands and thumbs. It's a good sign.
There you go. So, for example, like Paul could say this instead of what he says, Radguard builds motorcycle radiator guards for everyday road riders who want protection before the damage happens. Your radiator sits exposed to rock, sticks, and road debris. Da 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 da. It's practical protection for riders who expect more from their guard. Blah blah blah. So someone reads that again and they go, yes, 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 yes. All right, and they go, cool. So they've read everything up the top, down the bottom, in the middle, down there. They read that and they're like, cool, I'm ready. Give me money. All right. So, and then once you guys have done this exercise, you come over here, right? And assuming you had a good website, and unfortunately, Paul doesn't have a good website right now, but he will once we fix it for him. You come over here and you go, great. Now we do this exercise, go over to there, and I can just type. And you wouldn't type this, but you go, oh, Warren, rewrote my brand messaging, and now I'm ready to run ads, which add GPT should I use? Just for the non-nerds on the call, like me, GPT means generational pre-trained transformer or something. Why they call Chat GPT, and so forth. So if you want to sound fancy to your friends, just say, "Oh, I use these GPT things on the internet, and I'll think you're amazing." So, so you can use this, or you can come here and you can type ad, and you can go, "All right, there you go. I'm going to write a crappy. I've got a crap ad. I'm going to write into a good ad." So that's when you're going to run your meta ads, right? So, what we'll move on to now a bit. I want to show an example, and I can show this now because Chris McQueen and I have literally spent like 2 days rebuilding 2 motorcycle websites. So I'll give you an example of what a good website looks at the top of a site. All right. So again, here is Paul's site at the moment. Here is a site that we're working on they sell, actually, you know what? Here's a simple one. So you go on here, there's your logo, genuine parts prepared properly. So every part is stripped by hand, cleaned and inspected. So this is a motorcycle wrecker. You come down here, free shipping, 48-hour dispatch, cleaned and inspected, it's genuine. Photography is as it is, 20 years experience, you know, fitment, and you go, great. So you read all this, tick, 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 tick. You read that, tick, tick, tick. They're in Adelaide, tick that. You read this. I've got 9 more ticks. You keep scrolling. You can start scrolling by make and model. You can check new arrivals. You can check fill out a form and tell them what you're looking for. Like Paul could easily do this exact same exercise here. Come down here. Here's the rare stuff, et cetera, et cetera. Same with this side. Oh, not that side, this side. So you go, you know, this is they do 3D printed dashes for cars and stuff, you know. So, but our formula is the same. There's your H1, there's your H2, trust statements. There's more trust statements down further. Shop by vehicle, et cetera, et cetera. So and this is just the wireframe. These aren't even sites that are finished yet by us, but you can already, hopefully you go, it looks pretty good, right? So the reason I'm showing you that is because when we build websites for people, most people aren't aware that there are hundreds of elements that go into a website that make it convert better. So when I talk about elements, I mean like stuff like this. So say, for example, Sean went to Paul's website and he's like, where are these guys based? And Sean's like, well, I'm in South Australia. And he goes, well, so are they. That's good. So tick for Paul. Dispatched in 24 hours. Tick for Paul. Go down here. Tick, 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 tick. All of these little micro elements make your site convert better. And when we build sites for people, we run every single site through this process that I've developed, which is like a checklist. So here is your homepage. Every single homepage should have all of these things on there. I won't share all of them on here, right? And here is your collection page. Should have all of them. Here's your product page. It should have all of these, right? Here is the cart drawer. So cart drawer is like this thing that pops out and you go, if you don't have all of the things in there, the site doesn't convert as good as it can. Right. And this is the difference between a site, again, that converts really, really well and never converts. And most people get excited, right? Or not get excited, but they build a website and then they think it's good. And then they go run ads and they send traffic to their website and then it never converts. This is the problem because you haven't built it to convert in the first place. All right. So what I want to do quickly is a bit of an exercise with Paul. Paul, do you know roughly how many people come to your website every month? Just a rough gauge. Have a guess.
300, 400.
All right, let's assume there's more. We're going to do this exercise. I suck at maths, so I use ChatGPT to do all my maths for me. So where is it? Radguard. Cool. What's your average order value, Paul? Average order value means, on average, how much people buy when they come to your website.
Approximately $170.
Is there an opportunity for them to buy more if they were with you in person?
Yeah, definitely. Yep.
Because you'd upsell them.
Yep.
Yep. How much more would you upsell them to?
Or I'd like to get it to about 300 to 400 because I could sell them, you know, yeah.
Because you got a good story. Because you got a good story when you talk to them in person, right? You tell a better story than the website does. So let's do this. So my new friend Paul sells amazing products for motorcycles. On average, his average order value is $170. He gets 5,000 people a month to his store, and his current conversion rate is 2%. How much money does Paul make at the moment monthly? And again, this is theoretical. So what numbers did I do? 5,000 people, $178, 2% conversion rate. You'd be like, that's pretty good. I'd be happy with that. Most people would, but like, let's do the maths on this. So 17 grand per month. All right. So what I'm going to do is propose. Let's mute Catherine. There you go. All good. So now let's assume Paul keeps this website for the next year or 2 years or 3 years or 4 years or 5 years as it is and doesn't change it and doesn't fix it. Now, let's assume he makes a really good decision after tonight's workshop and he says, hey, Paul Warren, can you rebuild my website? With the goal, and I would never promise this is actually going to happen, but with the goal of getting the conversion rate to 4% and the average order value to 315. Is that what you said, Paul?
Around
Roughly?
there, yeah, 350, yeah, 300 to 400.
Okay. So how much more money would Paul make monthly just by fixing those numbers? And then how much more would he make over the course of like year 1, year 2, year 3, year 4, and year 5? All right. And again, this is all we're fixed at the moment. 2 things. Just the conversion rate, just the average order value. This doesn't account for all of the people who become customers and then send more customers to you, right? Because they've had such a good experience and they've actually bought something. And I do this exercise for some people, go like, I've invested a lot of money into a website. And I said, yeah, but your website's horrendous. Right. And they go do everything else to try and grow their business except fix their website properly. And I'm like, well, you're losing hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars a year. Right. So for Paul, just for fixing those 2 numbers, he'd make an extra 45 grand. You'd make $542,000 every year. Right. And then if he leaves it as is over the next 5 years, he's doing 1 million versus if he improves it to get to that number, he gets to nearly $4 million. Paul would be stoked if he's hitting that numbers, I would imagine, right? So, and we see this, you see this all the time. This is exactly what happened when Liz that Chris spoke about earlier today. You know what? I could even show you that. So when I met Liz, I wouldn't normally do this, but it shows you like what goes on here. Give me 1 second. So Liz is from Industrial Shed. And when I met Liz, I'm like, Liz, your website sucks. And I could say that to her because she was a cool lady. And she was okay hearing that. So give me 1 moment.
And this is the more browsers into buyers formula, right? So in that calculation, we didn't add more people. So it was the same hypothetical 5,000 visitors. We didn't spend more marketing dollars to send more people to the site, which is, again, what a lot of other people will tell you. All you got to do is do more marketing, spend more marketing spend, and send, instead of 5,000 people coming and converting at 1%, send 10,000 people and convert them at 1%. But the problem with that is you're still only converting 1% extra and you've spent however much you've had to spend to double the traffic. Whereas what we're saying here is move those 2 numbers, your average order value, so how much people buy each time they arrive, and how many of them convert, which is a better story, better customer journey, etc. So we're spending the same marketing dollars, but our revenue off the back end is much better.
Yeah. And of course, Shopify is now asking me to do like a 2-factor authentication login. So as always, anyway, just to illustrate my point. So when we started working with Liz, she was here doing like 30 grand a month or something. This is an actual, I can't fake this stuff, right? So 3 years now, last month she did $221,000. Like, so, you know, and then what's going on there? Hang on, something's broken on me. Give me 1 second. So, but down there, and then these are the things that she fixed. Something Shopify is doing, something got a server error. But that's what happens when you do this properly, right? So otherwise, exactly right Chris spoke about, you know, you're sending traffic to these sites that just don't convert, and then you're just like losing all this opportunity again and again and again. So, yeah, can't kind of stress that enough that you got to do that. You do this properly. Is this making sense to you? Paul, is that clear?
Yeah, yes, definitely.
Any questions? Yep. So we'll ask me any questions from anyone about this. Happy to go around the room. There's a few people. Kathy, you've come off mute, and I can see Moira, you're watching very intently. Anyone got any questions about any of this? If not, we'll do this for another brand as well.
Kathy's got a hand. Is that for a question or for a? You're not muted, but we also can't hear you, Kathy.
I'm also going to fix this thing too, because that screen that came up was broken on the other one. So If I bring this back here, I don't know what Shopify did. That was always good. So reshare this again. So same screen, same thing. So as you can see here, that's when they started back here. So there it is. You do this last 3 years or whatever it is. That's where they got to last month. So really, really important. Even if we look at Nature's Pantry, another one that does the same thing. When I met them, they were doing 30. And I'm like, Chris spent probably a couple of weeks to fix their brand strategy. I think it's broken again. And then they fixed everything else. And then you start running your ads and away you go. So I'm going to do this for another brand because I think this is very valuable to do it. So who else wants to send the lamps? Yeah, Kathy. What's your site, Kathy?
Me.
Kathy,
we got two.
not Catherine.
We got a Kathy and
got
a Catherine.
couple of Kaths.
Let me look at it first. I want to make sure that it's the brand I can work with. Coconut Lux. Let's have a look. What do you do? All right, let's have a look.
And yes, to answer your question, they are running Meta and Google ads.
Yeah, they are now. Absolutely. So,
but we did all the other work first, just to clarify though. We did everything we've talked about first, and then they scaled up their ad campaigns.
All right, give us the pitch on this, Kathy. Bit of AI going on in images and so forth. Organic coconut balm.
I'm not sure we can hear Kathy. For some reason, she's got no audio, so
we can't hear you.
Type it in, and I can. I'll
you type, and then I'll read.
Translate for you.
So it kind of says what it is on the tin, right? Organic coconut balm, summer in a bottle, our best selling. The thing it doesn't say is why I should use it. So if you're buying any product like this, you need to lead with like, what is the outcome of using the product? So your skin's going to feel like a baby skin, something. So if we do this same exercise again, you come in here and let's just do the exact same thing. So I'm going to draw all over the screen. So announcement bar up here. No one cares that it says free shipping. It's expected, right? So that's not a statement that makes sense. So come down here, and then we've got your H1 organic coconut balm. It's okay, but it needs to say a statement where people go, oh, that's why I really need it. And especially your H2. Your H2 is the most underrated statement on your site that leads people to buy stuff. And then again, down here, all the boxes. So let's actually go and do this exercise and see where I can get to. So let me have a quick look. Individual soap bars. You know what? Let me actually show you this. This is a great example. So funny story about this brand. This lady is run by a lady, Jody, right? And I met Jody probably, what would it be, 2 years ago, Chris? She's the most quiet, well-spoken lady that you're ever going to meet. And she sells soaps. And I'm like, why don't you just sell soaps to blokes? Because what do you mean? I said, well, the general soap market is flooded, and her partner is a blokey bloke. So we come up with natural soaps for blokes who get their hands dirty, right? Jody's doing like multiple 6 figures a year in this brand now. All right. Same thing yet again. So we go, made for hardworking men, natural and no nonsense, bold, long lasting, 600 reviews, all this stuff. You go, tick, 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 tick. Great. You come down here, tough soap for tough blokes. Every bloke reads this and they want to think they're a tough bloke, so subliminally and in her ads, you read it and you go, tick, 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 tick. Again, even if you go to her product page, so I go down here and I pick that, and everyone should buy this soap, by the way. It smells amazing. Everyone will comment on how nice you smell. But you go, people are looking at the product. You choose a bundle. Here is a short description. Here's why it's good. She's got all these. These things are called meta field benefits. When we build a site, we put these on every page. Why do you think they're here? I'm going to put some random people on the spot. Sean, why do you reckon we have like 7 statements here? What are we trying to get people to do?
They read them, they click on them.
Yeah, and they say what?
I'd like that.
Yeah, exactly. I like that. Yeah, sounds good. Let's go. Da, 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 da. So again, you come over to an image and you start scrolling through here and you're like, oh yeah, tick, tick, tick. Come down here, pick a bundle, ready to go, add to cart, free shipping, free returns. You read all this stuff, you go over here, you go, oh yeah, I'll have 3 more. You check out and you go, I've got $125 of soap. I didn't even know how I managed to do that, but away we go. So this site follows the exact same formula that all the other sites we build. And this is the exact formula that this site should have, right? Because this is what works. You have hundreds and hundreds of people using this system. So for context, like we built Jody's site, but site like, did we mention Leah, Chris? I don't think we did. So Here is a lady that used one of our products that's called the converter kit. So she did all this herself, right? So I'm going to go through this again, no? So you go, the cooler bag that you use every single day. You go, oh, yeah, that sounds good. Beach days, footy mornings. Hang on, can we mute that person? Keeps on muting. So beach days, footy mornings, blah, blah, blah. I go, yeah, okay. She doesn't have heaps of reviews because she's only done 10 grand in sales, but Australian business, 30-day return, looks good, works hard. Leah even went to another level, and she went into the command center and she did this, and she used a thing called a video sales letter, and she put that here. A video sales letter is anyone stay up late at night and they, somehow you find yourself at 3 a.m. There's an old bloke on TV trying to sell his steak knives, and his video goes for like 10 minutes, and then you order, right? So inside there's the command center. There is a whole system in there that teaches you how to write an amazing video like Leah has done in here. And then Leah uses this video here, and she uses the same video in all of her meta ads. And that's how she got to 10 grand a month, right? Because it's telling a really, really, really good story, right? So the more story you tell as you're a small brand, the more sales that you get, right? So again, like Chris said, when we met her, she was in another community. They didn't fix her website. They spent no time on her story. She had this great product, right? She'd never run ads. I'm like, it's easy, repeatable formula. Story, store, ads, boom. Now she recently left her job because she's going full time in this. And so the biggest problem she has right now, she's like, I'd run out of stock, and she has to wait 2 months before more stock arrives. Good problem for most people to have, right? So again, we spoke about, who else we speak about? Tea with Karen. Is this a site? No, that's our other site. Tea with Frida. So like Chris said, Karen's in her 60s. She's on Etsy. She go, beautiful divination tools, handcrafted by Karen, award-winning, blah, 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 blah. You go, great, read that. Come down here, read that, read that, read that. Come down here, read that. This is the reason Karen is in her 60s. She built her own website, and she's doing the numbers that she's doing every month. All right. So now the only difference is between like her and this brand is like we did this site for them. We did the whole process. It's the same with these guys here. Like we're building this for them. We're building this for them. So before I go from here, there's a few more of you. Like I'm happy to look at a few more brands. I got heaps of time. I'm gonna pick some random people. I've sorted out Paul. Sure. Do you want to look at your stuff? Can you send me a link again, mate? And then we'll do Joanne as well.
I just want to make one comment on Kathy's side, and this is probably something that a bunch of you are doing because most of the free crappy themes from Shopify do this. That whole headline is in an image, right? And Google can't read any of that text. So that's why we like a background image and then write actual readable text for your headlines and your statements, because that text can then be tagged as an H1. So when we talk about an H1, it's basically a code tag in the HTML that tags that piece of text as H1, and that signals to Google that that's the most important headline on the page. But if you just stick an image in there, it can't read the text that's in an image. So just check that on your themes. So a lot of them will. Number one, they'll put images in your banners with text on them, and number two, a lot of them will actually tag the logo as your H1. So then all you get to Google is your brand name, or whatever alt text you have on your logo. So
one thing that I will talk about. So I know most people on this call have probably been to many webinars before. You wait to the end and you wait for a big pitch. I'm like, oh, I was going to try and sell me something. I already pitched you the whole way through. I'm like, join our community, right? $97 a month. Go to the website, sign up. You're in there tomorrow. Get the command center, right? Go buy that. You start using the tool tomorrow. You're ready to rock and roll with both of them, right? No one on this call at the moment needs to go to like a sales call, except for probably Paul so far. But there is a couple people on here that like this site, for example, which one? So people who, how do I frame this? So people who are using like the Dawn theme or the Impulse theme or the Turbo theme or all of these themes that you get from Shopify Australia, those themes exist to make it as easy as possible for you to build a site and you get it live and you go, cool, I feel like I've achieved something. But all of those site themes are so basic, they never convert. And this is the problem that this site is going to have, right? No disrespect, obviously, the person made. It's not a web developer. She makes soap. right? I couldn't make soap. So Kathy would come to me and be like, I'll teach you how to make soap, Paul. But we have a product called the Store Converter Kit, and the Store Converter Kit is exactly what Leah used. So on Leah, she has the homepage. Everything is in the right order, in the right place with all the conversion elements. You go to her product page, right? Everything is in the right order with the right elements in the right place. You go to her cart, everything is in the right order. And you can see where I'm going with this, right? But we have a product that I spent like years making. It's called the Store Converter Kit, and it's effectively a theme to replace these bad themes that you've got, right? So you go, you put it on, you turn it on, you transfer all your stuff from your existing theme into our converter kit. So it sits inside Shopify, much like, if I give you an example, we go here, you go there, and we come along, we put it on your site for you. There's a course that goes for like 2 hours, and it goes, here's how you use it all. So say, for example, with Kathy's got her thing sitting there at the moment. It's called Dawn version 9, version whatever. We put the new version on. Kathy comes and she goes, click edit, 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 change the buttons, change some fonts, change some other stuff. She'll have a site that's built in our converter kit over the course of a weekend. And then she joins our community, right? And over the next 12 months, 2 years, 3 years, whatever, we continue to help her make her site better, right? And again and again and again. And she's using the same framework that like half of our community is using. So I'm going to put a link to that I'll get Chris to find a link to that, and he can put a link into that for some of you that are kind of more of the DIY route. So just for context, this thing's like 1997. You can pay it off over 4 months if you want, but you effectively could end up with a site that looks like this, or looks like this, or looks like this. Other people that have got a bit more established brands, like yourself, Paul, like people that are doing a couple $100,000 a year, what I'd like to invite you guys to do is I'm going to drop a link to my calendar, and you guys can just get on a call with me, and we'll go, all right, here's our process to actually build your site out for you properly, how long it will take, and all that good stuff. So I will super quickly grab that, and then I'm going to continue on with this exercise. So because I'm going to help as many people as we can tonight, rather than just talking. So let's grab Sean's stuff now. Also, if anyone else is on this call that's either watching this live or watching it tomorrow and you want some help, like to build your website properly, you'd like us to do it, just book a call on my calendar and I'll help you out. So, but let's look at Sean's now and keep going. I'm just going to keep talking until my kids get home. You got me for the next hour if you want. Welcome to Down Under Cruises. So is this an e-com business?
Well, I did have a link on Shopify, but it wasn't doing any conversion, so I cancelled it. But I really need to start setting up an e-commerce.
What component is e-com?
Duck's gear, so second from the right. And that took us to, it was a bunch of printed stuff and...
Oh, so for like merch?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah, 100%. You can use Shopify for that. Converter kit is perfect. What is this at the moment? What are you using?
I've used a printer out in Adelaide.
Yeah, but your site at the moment is using WordPress, so you don't have a Shopify site at all.
No.
Yeah, we work with, I couldn't even tell you, like 200 brands sell merch. Shopify is the easiest platform ever to build a merch brand. So,
the challenge I was having with Shopify is I'm trying to do this on my own, and I didn't understand the process.
Okay, all right. The things do you know how to actually set up an account on Shopify?
I did set up, but it was just costing, and I don't think I was setting up properly anyway.
Yeah. Okay then. All right. So, I think you just kind of need to take the leap, and like Shopify's help files are like fantastic, really, really good. So I would invite you to go through those, and then when you join the community, like the only thing that's missing from this setup at the moment is you need the converter kit to make a site that looks better. Like get off WordPress. WordPress is like older than me, it's like whatever. So, and it's dying a slow death. Like I probably won't go into why WordPress is so terrible, but if you go to any of these websites, right, I come down here, this button is a powered by Shopify button. If you don't have this on your website in 2026, like your conversion rate is going to fall through the floor. Yeah. Right. So, because everyone looks for it. As soon as I click it, I can check out in about 3 seconds and I give this brand my money. So,
yep.
I'll park that with you there for the moment. WordPress is as old as Rod. Nearly Rod. And ask a few other people some random things. We got Moby's phone 17. Any questions from you or Larry or anyone else? feel free to come off mute. Yeah, go, Larry. Art of Hope. And then we'll go to Moira after that.
Hi guys, I'm happy to chat if that's okay.
Yeah, sure.
Quicker than typing.
Sure.
So I'd love you to have a look at our site. We've in our fifth year of business. Our conversion rate is good. Just looking at this month, it's like 3.5. AOV is around 100.
Yeah.
We just can't get people to the site. We used to spend a fortune on Facebook ads,
Yeah.
and well, with Meta, Insta and Facebook, and we just we run out of cash. We just can't keep throwing money at Meta anymore. So people come to the site because they are either subscribers or they might have seen a social post, or they've found us on Google. But we don't advertise on Google or Meta at all anymore. And I mean, we went from 2024, we did 300 and something $1,000.
Okay.
25, we did, no, sorry, 23, we did 300 and something. 24, we did 400 and something thousand. 25, we've dropped down to 300. And this year, with no advertising so far, we're on $30,000. So,
Wow.
and that's with no advertising. So we don't spend money on Meta,
Yeah.
we don't get traffic.
Yeah. So the business like fell off a cliff here, right? So this tool is called
Literally.
SEMrush. Yeah. It enables me to look at your site externally and go, what happened? So you used to get traffic and it bombed. So someone changed something on your website and your traffic fell off a cliff. So
Well,
just
we stopped spending money on Meta.
yeah, no, but this
That's
that's not
organic.
that. This is organic. This is not Meta ads. Like
Okay.
you used to get lots of traffic and it just died. So I probably can't solve this on this call. However, I'll say like every Tuesday we do a full SEO call for an hour and a half. So
Okay.
in this example, like I would go, Larry, we're chatting in front of everybody, and there'll be like 50 people on the call, just like we're doing right now. So I'll go, I'm spending half an hour with Larry in front of everyone. I'm going to help fix the problem. I go, Larry, this is what you did wrong. And you'll go, great, I'll fix it. And then the next thing is like your site is good, but it's not great. So
No, it's not great.
like we need to make it convert better, right? So I go, hey, on the Tuesday call the next week, well, and the Wednesday call, we're going to work on your site again. We're going to go, Larry, you need to fix these things. So what I would also direct you to do, I'd go, Larry, go into the command center. And again, guys, sign up for this, right? It's $9.97 for the whole year. Like I said, go and click this and then go through this section and it'll tell you, Larry, look at your product page. Do you have all these things? And if you don't, add them. All right. And then go to your product page, your homepage. If you don't have all of these things, Larry, add them. Right. And all of these things will improve your conversion rate. Like you probably don't need the
But
converter
my
kit.
conversion rate isn't the problem. It's
It
traffic
is the
to my
problem.
website.
No, your conversion rate should be double what it is to this thing, I reckon, based on the type of product that you sell.
So
right?
on that site you took me to earlier with those stats.
Yep. This one.
Did that show you that does that tell you why there's no traffic being diverted to my site?
At some point, someone has changed a piece of metadata, a H1 or H2 or a collection structure or a product page structure on your site, and then it's just bombed. That's from a Google perspective.
Okay.
From an ads perspective, I would imagine that you probably never went through an exercise like this, where we just go, I'm going to use this one. So I've got one called bad ad to banger ad. And my voice is dying. Let's rewrite this. I'm going to do my voice to break. God. let's see how this goes. Chris McLean's still here. He might have to do the rest of the talking, Chris, in a minute.
Yeah, from my perspective as the kind of the brand and words person here, like Larry, looking at your site, I have no idea what you actually sell.
Okay.
That's like I'm trying to guess what it is by the pictures and trying to read all that text, but there's nothing that says, "Hey, these are they badges or pins or like what's
So
the
it's a,
actual
it's a
product?"
greeting card with a handcrafted
Right.
heart.
Okay, I
And
was
the heart
like, I
is
had
like
no
a
idea
little
what that
mini
actually
apple.
was because you
Yeah.
don't have words anywhere that say greeting cards
Okay.
with
Yeah.
pins on them or something.
Fair enough.
So like as that, and that'll be a big part of this because people will land and go, I don't actually know what I'm buying. Like
They're not
what
even landing.
actually,
That's the problem. They're not
like
landing.
nothing there says it's a card.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to read the picture. I'm like a bundle of 5 watt, like it's a kindness bundle of something.
Okay.
So nothing in that site at the moment tells me what the product actually is.
Okay.
So that'll be an issue as well. Which is why like the brand piece and that story piece is so important.
Right.
We want that H1 and H2 to be like, this is the thing that you can buy. This is why it matters to you. This is how it's different. This is why you should buy it now. This is the problem it solves. All of that kind of stuff condensed into a few sentences is
Right.
what helps people go, I need that now. Versus I'm not sure what this is. It's too hard. I'm going to go scroll Instagram.
Okay.
All right, recovered there from the choking to the talking. That's what happens when you talk for like 9 hours for the day. So wish me luck. I agree with Chris though. Like it's just photos of the product.
Yeah.
You know, like your story is completely lucky. So I'm trying to use this in here, but let's have a look. And again, without context of seeing what your original ads look like, this is hard to do. But I will say previous ads are probably terrible. That's why they didn't work, right? Most people's ads are 1% of what they should be. And then they, unfortunately, and I have a lot of empathy for you, we spent all our money on ads, right? And we spent all our money to go into a website that didn't do what it was supposed to do either. And now our business is where it's at. So
Yeah.
there is hope, you know, like the fact that you sell these badges to like nurses and so forth. There is no shortage of nurses in Australia that should be respected more and appreciated more. And we're a badge like this.
Yeah, I agree.
Same with probably carers and teachers and healthcare and everything. So
Yeah.
you got to keep going is the first thing. And then you need something. I might get Chris, you read this so I can have a rest, but read this for me.
The draw test. So this is using a contrarian angle. So a contrarian angle is an angle that we're saying something that's contrary to the market or contrary to what most buyers would think. So that's how we're standing out. So the hook is most cards end up in a draw. This one doesn't have to. So this could be spoken. So this is like imagine a video. So Art of Hope cards come with a little handmade heart attached. So yes, you still get the message, the words, the thoughtful bit, but the person also gets something they can actually keep close on their keys, bag, uniform, or desk. It's a simple way to say thank you, thinking of you, you're appreciated, or I am here for you without sending another card that disappears after a week. Tap shop now and pick the card that says what you're trying to say. So like that actually tells me what it is. Like you give them a card and then they get a little keepsake.
Yeah.
So now I know what the product is.
Okay.
And then you've got all these other instructions here. You go, you know what, make it longer. Like write the ad better. So again, I won't go into all of this in the community like right now, but like this is literally what we do in the community. So I'll go, hey Larry, we're fixing your brand strategy. We fix your website, we fix your ads. That's it. We fix those 3 things in, we dial them in, we get you back to a point where you can put money into ads, send them to a website, make money. Simple as that.
Yeah.
Right. And whether you get a custom site or whether you do a converter kit or whether you do whatever, we're here to help you on your journey. And I probably didn't cover this one bit. So also in the command center, there is a thing called the scorecard. So for most of you that are on the call, except for I think Paul said he's doing big numbers, you come through here, and this is also included in your membership. You go, I'm here. I'm 0 to 10. I don't know what to do. You come down here and you drop down these boxes, and it says like, rate yourself out of 10 on your, I'll do this one, out of story. I go a 4 and a 6 and a 5 and a whatever. And however you rate yourself and however we rate you, there is an associated GPT in there that says, use this to fix the problem. Right? You go away, you do it in the middle of the night, you do it on the weekend, you do it when the kids are asleep, you do it when they're walking your dog, whatever. Right? And the goal is to come down here and this thing, progress over time. I'm like, here's Paul when I met Paul. Right? And I probably shouldn't use a box to illustrate my point. We'll use a pen. So when I met Paul, his story was a 1, and his store was this, and his strategy was that. But Paul's worked with us for 12 months now. Now Paul's there and there and there, and he's here. And I'm like, cool, Paul's doing 10, 20, 30 grand a month. And I go, all right, now what's next for Paul? I go, well, I won't scroll back up, just humor me for a moment. But like we work on how you promote your business. That's marketing. And then we work on how you make the product better. And then we help you build a team. So we go, all right, let's improve all of those other things for Paul as well. Sorry, Larry as well, or whoever. Right. And we go, so when he started is here, now he's there. Now he does $500,000 a year. Because it's very systematic, it's very repeatable, and it's based on me doing this for 25 years. And it's based on me doing this exact process for like all of the brands in our community. Right. So we go, you come in, if you're there, if you're whatever, maybe let's assume you're in there, right? You go through the same thing. You got to rate yourself. You fix the thing. We coach you on fixing the thing. Away you go. All right. So, yeah, and I just want to repeat this for everybody. If you want this system, all you need to do is go here, ai.ecommercecircle.com.au. It's $97 a month. All right. If you buy it for the year, I'll get on a call with each of you manually. Well, sorry, 1-to-1. And I will tell you the first few things you got to fix. We'll actually build out a plan for what you need to do. But all you do is go there, scroll down, away you go. The second thing you want to do, I already spoke about this, go to the ecommercecircle.com.au landing page, right? Click this button. It'll go there and it'll like, here is everything we do in the community. Scroll down to it, skip all the text. I wrote all the text. It's a good story, right? But come down here and watch this video. It shows you how we do it, where we operate, how we help you. You get to watch the magnificent mustache talk you all the way through it. When you're ready, come back up here and go ready to go. Free trial for 7 days. All right, so click this, join. If any of you join any of this stuff and for some reason you don't love it, we'll give you a refund, all right, within the first month. So these 2 products, you've got the command center that's helping you 24 hours a day. This thing is helping you live from all of our coaches and all of our community. All right, so every single person needs both of these things on this call. This makes sense to everybody? Yeah. I'm just going to put the links in the chat for whoever that was, Catherine. Jules, can you send that to Catherine as well? Is any of this unclear? Moira, you had a question before. Sorry, and I jumped to Larry first. Do you want to ask me anything?
You just muted, Moira.
You're on mute, Moira. Still muted.
Can you
There
hear
we
me?
go.
Yeah.
Yes.
I never use Zoom, so I don't really know how it works.
No worries.
You got it.
No,
You got it.
I was just curious about, you're talking about the themes that you can buy on Shopify. I have a theme that we've done a lot of work with my developer.
Yeah.
And, and I've spent a lot of work. And I think whoever I spoke to yesterday on the phone, one of the things was that, it's like, and I'm not criticizing you at all, but here is someone saying, well, this is what you've got to do. And this is, and that's been one of my problems with everything, is like, you just get all this information from all these different sources and saying you should do this, you should do that. And then here are you saying exactly the same thing. And so for me, it's like, $1,000 is not a lot if it's going to work. But then, is this just another someone saying, well, this is what you need to do? Do you know what I mean?
I
I'm just being really honest about it, because I just sort of, yeah.
Your site's fine. You don't need any, your site's pretty good. You will get a lot of value out of our community because we'll help you take it from pretty good to really good. That's the number one thing. And then if I'm looking through your site, quickly, Color Your Home the Handmade Way, Original Textile, Australian Design, it sounds okay. You don't need a new website. Are you running ads and stuff at the moment?
No, I don't do any ads at all because I think I probably run about 4 ads in my whole life. I
Okay.
just don't do it, and I know I should, but I just don't know which way to go. And yeah,
Ads are very hard for a brand like you. I'll be honest, like no one else will tell you this, but for fashion brands online, unless you have something super unique, it is very hard, right? But your site, it's
I
not
wouldn't
bad.
say I was fashion. I'm clothing.
Oh, okay, clothing. Okay, well, clothing is also hard online, So, like, I'll just be honest with you here, right? No one else will tell you this, but yes, that is. But what you want to do is get all those little micro wins. You're like, all right, so I went to the Paul's coaching call, and he said, like, why don't I put put a bit of an image on the image here that says like, hey, this is Amy. Amy's wearing a size 14, right? And then other women go, oh yeah, right. I'm 14. I will look like that. Instead of just having a size guide here, and little things like that will improve your conversion. And then I'll say, why are you using such like this brand, this add the cart button? It's like one of the worst colors you could use. You should be using a blue, yellow, or green. So you go, oh, I changed that. That improved. And then I'll say things like, you don't have a short description. I'm like, oh, cool, go add that in. So for you, inside our community, okay, coming back and you go, oh, another thing. I'll add that in. Go, great. Everything's working better now. All right. And this is exactly like all the ladies do in our community. They come back, they get another little win every day, and they go, great. Like, I'm moving forward every day because you've got tons of room for improvement. You don't need to scrap everything and start again, but there's like a lot of stuff that you could be doing, just chipping away at it inside our community.
So would you then, and not as a sales pitch, but then would you do that, whatever it is, $1,000 for a year or whatever, and use that to fine tune all the bits within the website? Is that what you're saying?
100%. You use both, right? So because both tools you serve different purposes. So let me be really clear on how this works. So if you went to my conversion rate optimization call on Tuesday, then you're working with me live in the flesh on the call, and you go, great, like tons of value. But you can also come back into the command center and I'll sign back in. Might wrap in about another 10 before I just can't stop talking at all. So there is like, I launched this thing the other day. So this is like virtual poll, and this thing will actually it will tell you why people are bouncing off your product page and not converting. So again, let's do it. I'll show you. Here's the exercise. So order this page. So this is for when you can't make the Tuesday call. It's the middle of the night, and you're like, oh yeah, Paul spoke about this thing.
That page, you won't get anything from that page because it's just went live today, that particular product.
Now I'll get lots from it because it'll go and look at it right now and it'll tell you what's missing. So it'll tell you 20 things. And then I can say, give you the next 20. Right, because there's probably 30 or 40 things missing from that page, even if it just went live today, that from a conversion perspective, that's missing. Okay. So give it a minute to do it. And you can do this on every page. So here you go. Here's the verdict. So we won't go through all of them because there's a lot of other people on the call, obviously, as well. But like fit guidance there's not enough information about the fit guidance on there. So no visible product reviews on there from what I can see. Yeah, no reviews.
Yeah, well, there wouldn't be. It's brand new.
Yep. Shipping message is conflicted. So what does it say? Shipping calculated that. So yeah, you should just make the shipping information clearer. So you don't need to get to the checkout to check it out. Easy returns. Yeah, it's too vague. It should say something like, if for any reason you don't love it, return it. No questions asked. Like, don't bury features and things like that any further down. What do we got? Some random stuff in here. So it needs more context around the brand itself. So model information is incomplete. So does it say what she's wearing? Kaya or something? That she's wearing?
She's wearing a size 10.
Okay, yeah. So like I made the same recommendation that I just made to you to a brand that now does like $10 million a year. They sell ladies' underwear. And I said to them, put an image on the thing that says, hey, This is Kaya. She's a size 10. They did little micro improvements like that and add hundreds of thousands of dollars to their revenue a month. So the reason I share that is because you go through all of these things, right? And you go, fix these things first, right? And you go, cool, I've done those. Give me 10 more. It'll find more and more and more things. So when people do come to that page, all of their objections that they have that you're not aware of get answered. Does that make sense?
If you click on the size guide,
yeah,
just click on it. It comes up with, that's really simple because it's a simple top. So it comes up with all the measurements and stuff like that. But so where would you put that?
The size of the model, straight on the image. Straight here.
She's a size 10. She's 5
I
foot.
know, I understand what you're saying. What you're saying.
Take my word.
Anyway, it's
massive
just,
improvement for conversion.
So, because like it doesn't say very much about the product, because I was told that I said too much about the product and people didn't read it.
No, they
so
do.
Simplify it. So it's like, so this is my whole thing again. I don't know which way to go.
Who's giving you the advice?
Well, I joined I did you know, Shecom?
Yes, unfortunately.
Yes.
So I did them. I did a year with them.
Okay.
And it was just like endless.
And it didn't work?
No, it was
No comment.
endless. And I also felt that it was very generic. Like they had all their, you know, their formulas for particular types of brands. My brand's quite unique. It's not mainstream at all. And so I felt, so it's interesting about what if yours is a formula that just your formula or your system will fit every type of business. And that's what you're saying, isn't it?
It's not that it fits every type of businesses, but there's a lot of nuances to every process that we teach. So when we talk about story, like every single brand that we've taken through this whole story process, like that I shared in here, everyone has to do this. You didn't do this in Shecom, did you? Nothing like this, I would imagine. Not to this level.
Oh God, no, they don't really do any of that. You know, they talk a good game.
Yeah, it's like go hang out in Bali and drink wine.
But, it's like, you know, and they're social, and I'm not bagging them. People love them. But, you know, it was like there are things on TikTok. You had to be out there and you had to be jumping around and, you know, being front and center. And that's not my personality, and it's never going to be my personality.
Yeah. And it doesn't need to be, you know. So what I was going to say though as well, until I cut myself off, but like the story, yes, you do need to change it slightly. The way a site converts, you do need to change it slightly. Yeah. The way you run an ad, you do, but the formula is the same. It's a triangle. Nail your story, nail how your site converts, and then run your ads properly.
Yeah.
Right. Simple as that. Like, unfortunately, most other communities in Australia know nothing about the story component or the store component, and they're shit at ads as well. And they also don't take the time to go, hang on, Moira's business is quite unique here. Like, maybe we should like spend a bit more time with her and go, Moira, what does the lady look like in your ads that is, you know, assuming you had done ads, right? You'd be like, oh, well, it's like a 23-year-old girl in the ad. I said, well, you're not selling clothes to 23-year-old girls.
She's 50.
You know? So in all these other communities, they're out there going, you know, like you go, oh, put like this hot babe in your ad. You go, I sold a 50-year-old woman. I go, no, do that. I'm like, no, that's stupid advice. Right. So we get into the weeds with you and go, hey, like if you're going to sell, you know, let's use Leah as an example. So Leah, I don't know how old Leah is, but like when I met Leah, she had like always like just, you know, supermodels in her ads. And I'm like, it's not supermodel who buys your product, Leah. It's women like all you ladies on the call that go to the beach and put your snacks in there and put your wine in there and have a good time. I go, put those people in your video. She goes, okay. And it started working for her. But these other communities don't even take the time to go, oh, maybe you should fix that problem. They're just like, run ads, good for you. You run your ads, you know, come back next week. So
Mm.
not saying we're going to be like saving grace and solve all your problems, but like I
No,
know that
yeah.
our formula works and works very well. And it's the same formula that I've used since I was a young kid. So
Okay, I was just wanting to ask that question because it was like what I sort of mentioned to whoever it was I talked to yesterday. It was just
Chatting to Chris, the other Chris.
other Chris, yeah.
Yes, and that
Do you
I
have any
was
questions from me, Marilla or Kathy or Joanne, or is it Mobies? No? Yes? Come off mute if you like, ladies. I got like my kids still aren't home, so the moment they walk in the door, they'll come in here and be like yelling at me. So make the most of it.
I'm
Or Paul,
Rachel, so I'm
Rachel.
sorry. My phone was the best thing I could get at the time. I'm a new author. I've just got my book debuted on the 5th of August. It's a resource book for young kids going through grief. So this is all very new. I seen your ad and I just went, well, it won't hurt to know what I'm looking to get myself into.
I've got your side here. I think I was looking at it yesterday. Again, I read the story and I'm like, I don't understand it. And I'm like, grief, kids have lost someone, obviously. And I think, and then Julian distracted me, blame him. But like, explain it to me.
Okay, so when I was 8 years old, my brother was killed in front of me. And I have lived with that, trying to understand why there was no resources for me. And my mum was quite young. She was only 25 at the time. And there was just nothing really there for me. We were a very poor family. So as my kids got older and I went through different parts, and I sort of fell into this book by accident. But when I started doing it, I realized I could write from experience and build a book that is actually here, which allows kids to learn about grief in a workbook style. So they get to write on it and they learn what it's for 6 to 12-year-olds. And what it is, it's for children to basically work through this book and understand they're not alone. Grief can be hard. It's anger, it's sadness, it's guilt. It's okay to be happy, and build memories with a memory box activities that are a part of it. So it's supposed to be a gentle way of helping them learn how their grief works for them.
Yeah, okay, interesting. Just drop me the URL again. I remember looking at it. You worked in prisons and stuff. I think I remember reading yesterday. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And it solves a big problem. I remember losing like uncles and aunties and an uncle to suicide as a kid. I'm like, how do I process this? So I get it, like, and it still haunts you and so forth. So just put the link in for me, Jules, if you can. I'll have a look at it.
Yeah.
Oh, Rachel, if you don't mind.
That's all right.
I'll say Jules is Julian. He's from our team, but chuck it in the chat for us, one of you, if you can, or Chris. I'm sure I've got it in one of my many tabs sitting here.
Yeah, so I think it's a WordPress. It's just something I put together. I'm not very, very techie. But I have a 22-year-old daughter that's amazing and got all the social media up and running and all that sort of stuff too. So, but like I said, this literally debuted on launch on the 5th of August. So it's very new.
Yeah, where are you selling it? So you're gonna have a hard time converting on here. It goes from a WordPress site to a Square site, so no one uses Square sites to do e-com anymore. So for you, more than anyone, you're going to be out there like talking about your book and blah, blah, blah. People are going to come to the website. It's not going to convert for you, even if the book is amazing.
Okay.
So when you can, you need to grab, like Chris put a link into the converter kit in here if you don't mind. But like converter kit is exactly what you need. You go cool, land on the homepage, H1, H2, trust statements, everything, boom, boom, boom. Checkout button, check it out, catch you later, get your order notification, get it shipped out. Like 100% you need all of that stuff. And then you just need to go through the command center and go, I need better H1, H2. And what you could do, you could take your book transcription, which I assume is sitting in a PDF somewhere, right?
Yes.
So brilliant for you because you can come straight in here and you can go headline and you can say, hey, I met Paul. You can type in here. Like I was talking to Paul on his session, and he said I needed a better H1, H2, H3, H4. Copy and paste your book transcription into here, and it'll write it for you. And then you go do the trust statements and do the USB and do everything, and then you go done. And then you go over here and you go, now write my ad, done. Now write my email, done. Now do all that, done. Like game changer for you.
Okay.
Chris has put a link into this page, so I'm not going to talk about it on here, but go watch this, and this tells you what it is, the whole converter kit, and why it's so incredibly easy to use, because you can come along and you just like log in, and when you use Shopify, it's just really like, there's my homepage, go to the homepage, and you go, oh yeah, I want to change this text here. Oh, so it's still loading. Give it a second. Yeah, I don't like that. I'll come over here and change the H1, change the H2, quick save. Oh, I'll come down here. I don't like this. Change that, quick save. Go down here. Easy. Like you don't need to be a technical wizard to be able to use our framework to do that. And then you go to your product page. Here's your product page. You click that, and it loads. My internet's a bit slow tonight. Go there. You know, I keep talking about things like, oh, turn on this button, turn on this, turn on that. It's literally a case of like you go in here, right, and you click a few buttons, and I'll just shrink it. But like, oh yeah, description, turn it on. Like price, turn it on. Buy button, turn it on. Other description, turn it on. Quick save, done.
Even though I only have one product?
Yeah, it's fine.
At the moment?
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah, super easy. It's not even the fact that you've got one product, it's that no one can use this thing.
Yeah.
Like everyone's going to go there and go, how the heck do I check out on this thing? Like, you know, because I would never know how to check out on that. I'm lost already. So it's taking me from there to somewhere else, to somewhere else, to somewhere else. Right. Yeah. So it's just, again, you're an author, you're not a web designer. So I'm just like going to save you ages of your life. Like just go do that properly. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Paul.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
No worries.
Any more questions, Marilla?
Yep.
Marisha?
Hi. I've actually got a few different hats. I've got like a day job where I sell outdoor furniture and very high-end Italian wallpapers to the interior design and architectural trade. And then I've got a little side hustle, which is a very specific ski product, high value, low SKU, that sort of thing. And it's called Ski Mojo. So my website is skimojo.com.au. And I have got a satellite site built from the French producer. That's it. So I sell it in winter. There's not much snow, which has been a bit of a limitation. And I haven't got my sort of Meta and Instagram thing kind of happening. They're helping me from France, but I need to do it from here to connect it through to my website. So I mostly sell in our winter, but interestingly, because I've only been going a little while, I sell as many products at the end of the year towards summer, when the wealthy client, who's mostly older, which is our target market, is going overseas to do ski holidays over there.
Right. What's it hosted on? And I'm going to come back to you too.
And it's a WordPress site. So I just heard you comment about that.
Yeah, that's why it took like an hour to load. You got lots of words going on.
Yeah, there's a ton of information, and it's a bit complex, but it is a complex product in terms of when people are finding it. I've got lots of testimonials to add. I've got mostly testimonials from overseas, but I've been collecting local ones in Australia as well. So the French have got some of these pretty handy testimonials and great vision.
Okay, right. So it's a knee brace of some sort?
It's what we call an exoskeleton, so it's a more sophisticated version than a brace. And it's snow specific, snow sports specific.
Yeah, right. Okay. Did you make this site?
No, it's not my product. It's engineered overseas, made in France. And this is, as I say, this is pretty well a replication of the French website with some adjustments for Australia.
Yeah, right. Okay. Your number one thing is, like, I don't even know how to buy. There you go. I come here. I want the silver version. And I like add to cart. Oh, what's going on there? Okay, checkout. How's conversion going for you at the moment?
At the moment, it's really poor because I think that I've lost track of the meta, connections with the ski community.
Okay, yeah. I think it's also because you ask me like 75 questions before I can give you my money. Whereas if you use Shopify, you click one button and you check out instantly. So you got things you need to be aware of, right? Like 99% of consumers are trained to now expect the Shopify checkout process. So they get to the checkout like this and they go, how the heck do I use this thing? I've got to go and click first name, last name, address, state, postcode, blah, 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 and then change it again, go over here. And then I haven't even seen the credit card detail section yet. So that takes me to another step. So there's like a 3-step, 4-step process before I can place the order here. All right. So that's going to be killing your conversion rate. Versus if I go to, and I know this is not related, but like, well, it kind of is, snowboards. I'm like, all right, what's that? That's a cool snowboard. And I want that one. Buy that. Check out. I better not click the wrong button. I'll end up with the snowboard tomorrow. But I'm like, cool, done. Yeah, send it to my house. They got my money.
Okay, but so the main difference there is really that all the personal details are preloaded.
Yeah, but no one, like, I've tested this so much with like hundreds of brands, like people just won't do this anymore. They don't want to use this checkout process.
Okay.
Yeah, like it's not good. That and the fact that you have nailed story, like you've got like over explaining on the story, but everything's kind of not in the right order, right? So H1's kind of in the right, H2's in the wrong spot. Trust statements don't exist. Announcement bar doesn't exist. Like, reviews don't exist. It's like paragraph, product. So the flow of the homepage is in the wrong order for a product like this as well. So that will hold you back. And then if I go to the product page itself, so there's probably heaps of these being sold internationally, right? Like how many? Like thousands.
Well, it's a growing thing. It's kind of like the more exposed it is, the more people buy them because it's a bit technical and people have got, questions like yours. Is it a brace? No, it's something more sophisticated. So,
yeah.
Will it actually work? Will I spend $1,600? For the people who try it, there's a 96% take up. There's enormous satisfaction rating.
Yep. So all that stuff needs to go on the page as soon as I can see it. It needs to go as soon as Hey, for everyone who uses it, they love it. Here is 50 reviews. Da, da, da. So there's a lot of stuff missing from the product page. Why that becomes an issue is, let me go back to just pick a random site.
Also, it doesn't say the word exoskeleton on the product page or on the homepage.
Very good point too.
So these guys aren't. These guys are just only just recently joined us. They haven't purchased anything from us, but I'll show you what happens, right? Because someone lands on your website and you go analytics. And again, this is the Shopify backend. It's like really good. So like I said, this guy's brand new. So people come to the website, that's a session. And then the drop off is like how many people add stuff to the cart to them, how many people reach the checkout, and then how many people complete an order. So for you at the moment, it's probably like lots of people are arriving, no one's adding it, and then no one's reaching it, and then no one's doing that. So, and that's the byproduct of you using the platform that you're using and the design of the site and the flow of the site. Because every drop off here is more lost money. All right. So versus example, if I go and pick like some random site, Produce Pod. So for context, this lady literally sells produce bags on the internet that keeps your carrots fresher and your bananas fresher, right? So look at her analytics for the last 2 years. $250,000 of a bag that you put your veggies in. So you can see here she got a 5% conversion rate. That many people hit it, that many people add to cart, that many people reach, that many people check out. This is what good looks like. All right, this is why this is like this. All right, so this dropped off here only because she ran out of stock. But other than that, she did nearly $250,000 in April of a bag that I'll show you the product. Produce Pod. this thing.
Thanks,
All
Josh.
right, so another example. She dialed, fixed their story, fixed their website, set it all up, boom, where she goes. Cheers, Josh. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
All right. I might leave. Oh, sorry, Joanne, we're going to do quickly with yours, and then you'll be very patient. NDIS process screening. Oh, so you sell like templates? Is that right? Downloadable things? You can come off mute if you'd like. I think we've covered everybody on this call tonight. I've set a new record. You 100% need the converter kit. It's very black. And don't get me wrong, you can tell I like black everything, but there's too much black. You want to press mute, unmute? If you can't, that's all right. All right. The thing you need is the converter kit. So take all of the information that you've already got and like, please rebuild the site so that it's white. Like you literally sell stuff to corporate NDIS, like, you know, what do we got here? Incident
To be a bit
reports and stuff.
friendlier corporate blue, nice
Yeah.
royal blues, beige, white,
Yeah.
colorful.
Take everything, put it in there, and you go, cool. Start it, go again. Are you also using WordPress or something else? What are you using? Wix. Oh, okay. Sorry to ruin your day, but Wix is even worse. So work goes Shopify. What do we say? Square for Rachel. Wix. Oh, it's probably on par. There's probably worse again. So, but anyway, I would pivot. And again, like you didn't know this coming into it, but like same reason. You know, corporate person comes and they go, hey, go and find out the thing, go buy the thing that Rachel sells. We're looking for an emergency incident. Go, all right, add the cart here. And you go, all right, cool, check out, go over here. And Wix is trying to rip off Shopify's checkout now. Okay. So anyway, I haven't seen it for a while. It's still not good though, right? But more, and one of the other biggest issues with Wix is it's slow. Like it's actually, you know, so if you got people that are regional and so forth, or people that are doing it like on the train trying to do this in the morning and it loads slowly, then little things like that make people bail as well. So yours is a super easy thing. Just port over to Shopify when you can, copy and paste everything over. Take it. Like how many files do you have that you sell? Is it like 50, 100, less? More? Lots
than
more?
50?
Okay. All right.
100.
You can easily
200.
export all of them straight over to Shopify. Yeah, I wouldn't use this. So, for example, if you're highly experienced at doing this stuff, you know, and you're like a unique unicorn that like not many people can do it, like blast into Shopify as soon as you can. And then the next thing for you would probably be like Google Ads. I would imagine people go to Google and search for this stuff, you know. So, and if this is a digital product, you can probably spend $15 to sell a $29 product, and you go sell 20 of them a day or whatever. Easy, right? We have one lady in our community that sells dress patterns, right? And she does millions a year, just dress patterns that you download using Shopify, you know. So same business model as you, except dress patterns. So cool. All right. Well, I don't know how my voice is still going. I'm gonna let you all go. Thank you for you guys win like a trophy for hanging on for like 2 hours or something.
That's 2 hours. It's pretty solid.
Thanks everyone. Everyone who watches the replay, if you have any questions or anything, please just join the community. Ask the questions in the community because I'm in there doing this all day, every day. All right. Thanks everyone. I'll catch you. See you. Bye.
Thanks everyone.